He's in Quartararo's time to return to the top step of the podium. He's a race winner here, of course, in Barcelona in Moto2 back in 2018.
Paul Espargaro hails from Granollers, of course, just down the road, round the corner here. Used to be able to hear the bikes from his back garden. He had brilliant pace yesterday, Matt, in free practice 4. Question mark, I think, for all KTM riders is how much tyre life they can get. They seem to be suffering a little more than most.
Yeah, the KTM factory team are staying in our hotel in downtown Barcelona and at a safe social distance. We caught up with a couple of them this morning saying, yeah, they're a little bit concerned about how long that rear tyre will hang in there. They're going to go for the soft. You cannot go for anything other, surely, in these cool conditions.
Here is Franco Morbidelli, then 5th in the World Championship. He's only 20 points down overall, and he's on pole position for the first time. Something a bit different about Franco Morbidelli since that victory as well a couple of rounds ago. That confidence is there. Is he going to be victorious again today, or will there be a fairy tale story?
Does the doctor have an appointment with the top step of the podium for the first time since Assen 2017? It's been already a great weekend so far for Valentino Rossi. His first front row start in 15 since the British Grand Prix at Silverstone last August. A new contract safely tucked away in his pocket. He's moving to the Petronas Yamaha SRT team next year on a factory-supported Yamaha Y-Star M1. Can he cap off this great weekend? His 350th MotoGP start, a 200th Premier Class podium beckons. He's in the game, make no question about it. Maverick Vinales goes from 5th. All 4 Yamahas have very, very similar pace. It looks like the Yamahas as well will all go for the same tyre combination. Soft front tyre, soft Michelin rear tyre as well, so there'll be nothing to choose between those top 4 men who are going from those first 2 rows in this 24-lap race.
Their biggest problem in the early stages, the Ducatis and Jack Miller and Johann Zarco. Here is Jack, 6th in the World Championship, of course. Disappointment, bitter disappointment last time out. Nothing he could do about the tear-off from Fabio Quartararo. Matt, he starts from 4th on the grid. Good money would be going on Miller or Zarco to be leading into turn 1.
Yeah, now Johann Zarco's got that Ducati launch device and the ride height device fitted to his Ducati. Keep a close eye on him. Got to think that there's a long drag down to the first corner here. And Jack Miller was speaking yesterday, there's meters to burn, and he feels very confident that he can overhaul the 3 Yamahas ahead of him and grab the whole shot here in Barcelona.
Aleix Espargaro, Antonio Jimenez, his crew chief on the right, 17th in the World Championship, of course. Home race for Aleix, but with it all to do. A couple of costly crashes so far here this weekend as well. So Aleix Espargaro, the man in form in the World Championship, 8th on the grid. Very few riders have better pace than him on used soft rubber.
There's been no win or podium here in Barcelona for a Suzuki since Kenny Roberts Jr. 20 years ago, 2 decades ago. Can you believe that? Surely that's got a great chance of being ended today by Joan Mir. And don't discount Alex Rins as well. And don't panic about the windscreen wipers going on the BMW safety car. We had those little nervy moments at the start of Moto3, didn't we?
We edge closer to race time here for the Monster Energy Grand Prix of Catalunya. Excitement for all of us, neutrally, such a tough one to call. The Battle of Barcelona is just moments away. Will it be a cat fight in Catalunya? Here is your front row featuring all the Yamahas, all with soft front, soft rear tyres. The evergreen Valentino Rossi starting from 3rd in his 350th Premier Class start. Can he get himself podium number 200? Can he end the drought? The last win for him, of course, Assen 2017. What a story it would be if he could get himself to the top step here today and pick up his 8th Premier Class win in Barcelona.
Some last words of encouragement from his crew chief, David Munoz.
So Rossi starts the... From Morbidelli from pole, Rossi did not get away well. Here comes Miller on the Ducati, but what a turn 1. He will, ahead of Miller and Quartararo.
Morbidelli absolutely smashed it off the line, didn't he? Taking out Dovizioso! Dovizioso's gone down as well. Unbelievable. Furious with Johann Zarco. Look at the start from Joan Mir. He's up into 5th already as well. As Zarco got that from at the second corner. Here comes Rossi at the inside of Jack Miller. Miller left undaunted to unimpressed with Johann Zarco. There's going to be a will change down in then. Jack Miller almost T-bone Valentino Rossi into 10. But Johann Zarco will try and get a replay of that, but another monumental switch championship battle, and the three Yamahas have got exactly where they want to be. We're up the front of this group.
He's Matt. What a start. Pol Espargaro goes through and Alex Rins. He made up so many places on the order.
But Vinales, 15th, absolute disaster for him on lap one.
Rossi's closing a bit to 10th place.
So Franco, which is not start off the line, he could not have made that any better. Petrucci up,
He just didn't get off the line very well. It's simple as that.
Oh, it's Petrucci. Petrucci lost control of his Ducati.
And it made then just behind him. And then it's Aleix Espargaro.
Yeah, Andrea Dovizioso was blaming Zarco, and that's why I kind of pointed the finger of blame.
It's the Dr. Valentino Rossi chasing down, or will be, his teammate in 21.
Morbidelli did not crack under the pressure.
That Maverick would be a disaster for him. Of course, he was 1 point down in the championship. So far, so ahead of Joan Mir. Mir will be more than happy with that in the first couple of laps. He's made up to
Zarco, just reacting to the mistake by Danilo, and then Dovizioso taken out. Nothing that Dovizioso could...
able to run their lines, the virtual fan wall. Well, you'll be able to see from who's cheering as to whether pointed. It's Morbidelli then that leads from Rossi, of course.
Rossi had it. Morbidelli would be in this championship chase right now had it not been for that mechanics. DNFs this year have not been his fault.
Dobby straight up to the garage. Fabio Quartararo, not seen him fire up for a while, but he's closing now.
It was 6, so it was obviously a sensational start by Andrea Dovizioso, and that's what put us on Zarco, because we called it, or I called it, having seen Andrea Dovizioso,
but it didn't look like there was anything really he could do
about
that situation. It's Jack Miller doing well to hang on in there at the moment. Still Mir in 5th. Pol Espargaro on the KTM is in now off the line. Not a particularly great start. Bogged it there.
Although Petrucci will not know all the chaos and carnage that unfolded behind him after he had that twitch.
On the Pramac Ducati at 40.2. Only a couple of tenths off or Haler end on the tail of Valentino Rossi.
Yeah, Mir at the moment has got
Morbidelli out front, 0.3 of a second.
Well, he's keeping Alex Rins at arm's length.
Yeah, no problem with lap times at this stage, Matt. Here comes Quartararo, he's in the slipstream, and he goes through into 2nd place. Will he get the Yamaha stop? They're both going to go a bit deep here.
His rivals down the years here in Barcelona. The doctor gets a taste of his own medicine.
In his sights, his teammate Franco Morbidelli. They've not raced in close quarters too.
Here's the move, the slipstream, the clear air. Full advantage taken by Fabio Quartararo.
He'll want all 3 of his men on the podium here today. Still,
Quartararo finding to get through on using the engine and the accelerator to come off the corners and keep Quartararo at bay for such a long time.
Quartararo fastest lap, slightly quicker than Valentino Rossi in 4th.
The rhythm had to try and make any progress into Joan Mir at all. The gap between will be taking over at the summit of the World Championship.
Braking hard into turn 10. Number 21, Franco Morbidelli, to a 1 second, but I think Mir is saving something back. If Mir doesn't play a big part in the latter stages of this, Quartararo is thinking about the move into turn 1, not this time.
Yeah, half a second slower than Quartararo. That last lap was Mir. As soon as he dispensed with Pol Espargaro and that clear track ahead of him, got down into some shit to France.
If he can get past Franco Morbidelli,
so then it's a Yamaha 1, 2, 3 for turn 10.
Quartararo knows he's got to make a move pretty clean. No one better at this moment. Is he going to be able to now get in the slipstream of Franco Morbidelli? Says he's up by his teammate and he goes through into the lead here in Barcelona.
Pace to break away here now. Gap Rossi, gap Morbidelli.
Ferrari, you don't want to burn it up too soon.
Into turn 4, we had that big moment on the front end this morning.
Tyre smoking a bit from Fabio. They're all aware he's into 7th, so next in
Pol 1,400 between them. Pol Espargaro, that was tight on Petrucci into the first, just cannot get on par. Now this is a real dogfight going between Petrucci and Pol Espargaro on that rear tyre coming through that fast turn 9. Vinales just got nothing for these 2 men ahead of him though. And it looks like Rossi in turn has just about broken Jack Miller's resistance,
because they genuinely believe that they're in a bit of bother. If you just tuned this, Danilo Petrucci set it all off, not deliberately.
Rossi just about hanging in there with the 2 Petronas Yamaha.
A few tenths on that last lap. The fastest rider on that last lap was Alex Espargaro. He has crashed out of his home Grand Prix. He went at turn 1.
That's for sure.
What a shame for a change. Couple of tenths between Quartararo and Morbidelli in the background there. You can see Miller in fourth and Mir in fifth. With, don't think, for Mir to go through on Jack Miller.
Underway now. Jack Miller doing everything he possibly can to keep Joan Mir
not close enough on this occasion. That's Franco Morbidelli just up the road as well in third.
A decisive phase of the race for him because he's taken a couple of technicals drop, the first big drop in rear tyre performance. Morbidelli to recover those 2 seconds now. That's the gap to him. Fabio Quartararo for Maverick Vinales fans, I'm afraid.
It's not going to be today.
His illustrious career that he's crashed in successive. Pretty forlorn figure there. Then Valentino Rossi.
Change of direction and the front just gives way. Miller, and now he's got his eyes on Franco Morbidelli. It's around 2s at the moment.
Yeah, well, Jack Miller's just run out of grip, hasn't he, on that rear tyre. Alex Rins got in hot. No rear grip. Couldn't get it pulled down, not able to have any...
They're lapping quicker than these guys out front. So it's now Quartararo.
Foolish to throw away 20 precious World Championship points, having already seen as well his men.
Maverick Vinales has finally made a spot up. He's up into 12th place ahead of Aleix Espargaro.
That's going to be a tough one to recover from. Back-to-back DNFs, isn't he?
Fastest man on the circuit, a hungry-looking Taka Nakagami.
Yeah, the coach teammate Brad Binder. They're 3 seconds behind this battle.
There of Danilo Petrucci on for another top 10. Vinales has now gone up into 11th. He's just gone
now within striking distance of Franco.
Miller in 4th.
You know, it's that left-hand caps being thrown on the floor.
This is the view from Quartararo.
Speed to match this man, Fabio Quartararo. Franco Morbidelli.
Matt, this is a time...
I was going to say that's Miguel Oliveira, that's not Lecuona, that's Oliveira.
Well, that is
the last of the fallers there because it's absolutely critical now. The temperature on a knife edge.
Alex Rins is close from 14th on the grid. He's up into 6th. Slightly faster than Morbidelli, but there's
so down and out at the second corner. Maverick Vinales just...
Mir's a 7/10 of a second quicker than Fabio Quartararo out front. He's closing on Franco Morbidelli.
Second, not something you see very often in MotoGP.
Quartararo, can he get into the slipstream on the start-finish straight? Yes, there's defence coming from Franco Morbidelli, but he's helpless. Through goes Mir into second place.
The Suzukis have got the better speed at this stage of the race. The Suzukis, we know.
SRT man Fabio Quartararo. Will his teammate, though, be joining him on the podium?
Some more punishment here on Morbidelli. You can see Mir, he's just instantly gapped away from the Italian behind him.
Up the inside he goes then. Franco Morbidelli is now out of touch lap. It's 1.9 in the bag for Fabio Quartararo. Joan Mir and Alex Rins, surely. Oh, the 2 Pramac boys are getting a bit close and personal there. Nakagami here might just fancy 5th place.
Franco Morbidelli 4th place, a couple more laps and Morbidelli will be dropping like a stone a bit further back.
Disappointment for the veteran Italians. This man, Fabio Quartararo, will his teammate, though, be joining him on the podium?
Some more punishment here on Morbidelli. You can see Mir, he's just instantly gapped away from the Italian behind him.
Up the inside he goes then. Franco Morbidelli is now out of touch lap. It's 1.9 in the bag for Fabio Quartararo. Joan Mir and Alex Rins, surely. Oh, the 2 Pramac boys are getting a bit close and personal there. Nakagami here might just fancy 5th place.
Franco Morbidelli 4th place, a couple more laps and Morbidelli will be dropping like a stone a bit further back.
Disappointment for the veteran Italians. This man is back to... There's not too many laps left.
Yeah, he's desperate for the chequered flag because he was also in the 43s.
Frank once more and wins here in Catalunya. Catti's Miller managed to fend off Pecco Bagnaia for 5th.
We can talk to Petronas Yamaha SRT boss Will.
I know for the public maybe it's a bit funny one guy's way, but you see at the end they all ride on eggs. Did a great job. Congratulations, Wilco. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and he loves this Grand Prix, and a huge credit to Suzuki and where they've come.
Suzuki, Chris Vermeulen way back in 2007 at Misano. That Baron runner.
Podiums on the trot for Joan Mir, and great to see Alex Rins on the podium for the first.
Yeah, it was good.